Hello History 206 students. The purpose of this video is to provide an overview for your Week 2 written assignment. In this assignment, you will compare and contrast the political and civil rights as they existed in the mid-1920s for two of the four groups that we are examining in this class. Although it is often overshadowed by some of the other cultural changes in the decade, the 1920s were a pivotal decade for political and civil rights. Women finally got the right to vote nationwide in 1920 with the ratification of the 19th Amendment, and Native Americans finally became citizens as a result of the Indian Citizenship Act passed in 1924. However, the 1920s also saw significant drawbacks in support for immigration into the United States, and African Americans faced a brutal decade of racial violence. As such, for this paper, you will be investigating how these groups had struggled for and gained some political and/or civil rights, but often continue to face social and cultural challenges for decades to come. As I noted previously, this essay is to be a compare and contrast essay. A compare and contrast essay, in general, describes how the experience of groups were similar, that is compare, and distinct, that is contrast. There are two main ways to format a compare and contrast essay, and I'd like to address both briefly. The first approach would be to discuss the first topic in the first body paragraph, the second topic in the second body paragraph, and the third body paragraph should discuss similarities and differences between the two topics. The other approach would be to look at each potential similarity or difference in a paragraph, and then have the number of paragraphs match the number of similarities or differences. The UAGC Writing Center has a really great resource for compare and contrast assignments, and it's recommended that you review this resource carefully prior to writing your assignment. Prior to writing your paper, you should identify which groups you will be writing about. One of these groups should be the group you are working on throughout the entire class in both the discussion boards as well as on your final paper. The other group can be any of the other three groups that you are interested in examining. Make sure to review the resources left for you in the Week 2 assignment itself. These resources provide the text of the U.S. Constitution as well as a text of pertinent constitutional amendments that will be invaluable for this essay. In addition, you should also review the Week 2 lesson, which provides an introduction to many of the issues that can be discussed in this paper, some of which are not discussed well in our textbook. If you need a review of the different events that each group experienced, please check out the History 206 timeline. Remember, this is color-coded by group, which will help you navigate through the timeline quickly. Finally, you should review the resources for each group in the Week 2 assignment and identify a third scholarly source from the library that you can use on this assignment. One quick note: most historical journals can be found in the JSTOR library database, so you may find it more efficient to simply search for sources within JSTOR for this and future assignments in this class. As a reminder, your essay should be 2 to 3 pages or 5 to 6 paragraphs long. This allows you space for an introductory paragraph, complete with a thesis statement, 3 to 4 body paragraphs, and a conclusion that sums your paper. Remember, your thesis statement should be the main idea of your paper, and as such should mention both groups that you are examining. Each body paragraph should be tied to your thesis through the use of a topic sentence. Finally, please remember to cite all of the sources you use in an APA formatted reference page at the end of your essay. As always, if you have specific questions about this assignment, the best practice is to reach out to your instructor early in the learning week so that they have an opportunity to help you out prior to the assignment being due. Thank you for watching, and best of luck in your research.